Welcome to this election night, 2020. Tonight we have the incumbent president, Donald Trump from New York, running against Senator Bernie Sanders from the state of Vermont. Polls are closing in these states, and we're going to make a projection out of the state of Vermont. 3 electoral votes will go to Bernie Sanders. This is his home state. Virginia, 13 electoral votes are projected to go to Senator Sanders. Kentucky, 8 electoral votes are projected to go to the president. Indiana, 11 electoral votes are projected to go to the president. South Carolina, 9 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Georgia is too close to call. 16 electoral votes are at stake here. 5% of the vote is in. This is our current electoral map. Polls are closing in these 3 states. West Virginia, 5 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Ohio was too close to call. 18 electoral votes, 20% of the vote is in. North Carolina, 15 electoral votes, 12% of the vote is in, and this is too close to call. And this is our current electoral map. Donald Trump has a slight lead. Polls are closing in all of these states, and we're going to make many projections. Illinois, 20 electoral votes are projected to go to Senator Sanders. Maine, all 4 of its electoral votes are projected to go to Senator Sanders. This is a flip in the 2nd district. New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes are projected to go to Senator Sanders. Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders. Out of the state of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. Out of the state of Connecticut, 7 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. New Jersey, 14 electoral votes are projected for Bernie Sanders tonight. Delaware, 3 electoral votes, as expected, are going to be won by Bernie Sanders. The District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. Maryland, 10 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders. Tennessee, 11 electoral votes will go to the president tonight. Alabama, 9 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Tennessee, what? That does not say Tennessee, that says Mississippi. 6 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Missouri, 10 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Florida, 29 electoral votes are too close to call right now. 14% of the vote is in. Pennsylvania, too close to call. 20 electoral votes are at stake, and 22% of the vote is in. This is our current electoral map. Bernie Sanders has taken back the lead with 96 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 76. Polls are closing in Arkansas. Pennsylvania, we're going to make a major projection. This is a huge flip. Bernie Sanders will carry its 20 electoral votes. Arkansas, 6 electoral votes are projected to go for the president tonight. This is our current electoral map. Bernie Sanders maintains his lead. Polls are closing in all of these states, and we have a lot of projections. Ohio, this is a major flip for the Sanders campaign. 18 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. New York, 29 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders. Michigan, this is another huge flip for the Sanders campaign. 16 electoral votes are projected to go to Senator Bernie Sanders. Minnesota, 10 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. Nebraska, 1 out of 5 of its electoral votes in the 2nd district will be going to Bernie Sanders tonight. Colorado, 9 electoral votes will go to Bernie Sanders. New Mexico, 5 electoral votes will go to Bernie Sanders. Out of the state of South Dakota, 3 electoral votes are projected to go to the president. Wyoming, 3 electoral votes to Donald Trump. Nebraska, 4 out of 5 of its electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump. Kansas, 6 electoral votes, Donald Trump. Louisiana, 8 electoral votes are projected to go to the president. North Dakota, 3 electoral votes are too close to call. 2% of the vote is in North Dakota. Texas is also too close to call. 40% of the vote is in. Bernie Sanders has a slight lead. State calls Bernie Sanders' 204 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 160. Bernie Sanders is maintaining his lead. Polls are closing in these 5 states, and we're going to make some very major projections. Nevada, 6 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. Florida, this is a huge flip. The apparent winner is Bernie Sanders. Utah, 6 electoral votes are projected to go to the president. North Dakota, 3 electoral votes are projected also to go to the president. This was previously too close to call, and so was this. Texas, 38 electoral votes will stay in the president's column tonight. Montana, 3 electoral votes are too close to call. 85% of the vote is in, and Bernie Sanders has a very slight lead of about 200 votes. Arizona, 11 electoral votes are too close to call, 60% to 40%. Bernie Sanders has about a 20% lead here. 52% of the vote is in. Iowa, 6 electoral votes are too close to call. A third of the vote is in. Bernie Sanders has a big lead. This is all Democratic counties reporting, though. State calls. 239 electoral votes for Bernie Sanders to 153 for Donald Trump. Polls are closing in these 5 states, and we are going to make a very major projection. Bernie Sanders has been elected President of the United States of America. The senator from Vermont will go on for 4 years in the White House as the 46th President of the United States. Because we project he will take the state of Montana. He's the apparent winner out of this state that has not gone blue since 1992. 3 electoral votes will go to Bernie Sanders. California, 55 electoral votes are projected to go to Bernie Sanders. This is the state that put him over the top. Oregon, 7 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders. Washington, 12 electoral votes will be won by the president-elect tonight. Hawaii, 4 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders. Wisconsin, 10 electoral votes will go to the president-elect. North Carolina, 15 electoral votes are projected to go to the president-elect. Georgia, 16 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders is the apparent winner. Arizona, 11 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is projected to carry these 11 electoral votes. Idaho, 4 electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump. State calls, 372 electoral votes to 157 for the president. Polls are closing in Alaska. Iowa, a very big flip again for the Bernie Sanders campaign. 6 electoral votes will go to the president-elect. And Alaska, 3 electoral votes will go to the president. This is our final electoral map tonight. 378 electoral votes for the president-elect Bernie Sanders to 160 for President Donald Trump. So thank you guys for watching this. I just made an election prediction explaining my these calls. So go check that out for the explanation of these states. Thank you.